Hey y'all, so I am so excited because this is my first solo trip ever. I decided to go to a city that I'm pretty familiar with, and that is New York. I've been to New York a couple of times with my family and friends, but this is my first time coming by myself. Last time we came, we decided to stay in New Jersey, which I think was cost efficient, and it only took 30 minutes for us to get into New York City from Jersey City. So the first spot I had to hit up was the chopped cheese spot. This was at Blue Sky Deli in the Bronx, I believe. And honestly, after having this chopped cheese, I think that more places need to make their burgers like this. It was really good, really hot. And then I also went into Chinatown because I went to go visit a herbalist. And that was my first day in on Friday. Saturday morning, I went and got breakfast at Pick a Bagel in Times Square. And it was a lot of food, I'm not going to lie. It cost me about $23. I think that was kind of pricey for a tuna melt on a bagel with a smoothie, but it was decent. After my breakfast, I went into Times Square and decided to be a tourist. The whole time my head was up and my phone was shooting. My first stop was at the Empire State Building because as many times as I've been to New York, I've never been to the Empire State Building. After visiting that monument, I went over to the New York Public Library. Now, this is some place that I've always seen, I believe, on shows as well as on my hop on and hop off tours that I've taken in the past. This time around, on my solo trip, I decided not to do a hop on, hop off, but rather just do subway and walk. The library was really, really big, and I was just looking and admiring everything from the structures to the painting to the statues, and I did a lot of reading. That's one thing I do like about traveling is reading and just learning more about the city or about the structure that I'm in. Now, the library had several levels and a lot of steps. This particular site right here is where you would actually go in if you had a library card. And over here was just an open space. I believe you can come in and do some studying or writing because they had a lot of tables. And a lot of these paintings, I didn't recognize a lot of the people in these paintings. So I'm not too sure who they were. But this painting right here was an old painting of the actual library. And I think this is George Washington. I don't know. But you know what? At this point, all of them started to look the same. So I can't tell you who was who, but I enjoyed walking and looking at all the busts and the art and just reading about good old New York. My next stop here was the Grand Central Station. Now, this was my favorite part of my entire trip because this is a place that I honestly thought, like seeing it on TV or in movies, was actually like more, amazing in person. And of course, we had the subway performer. He was a violinist, and he was actually playing, really well. But I wanted to see Grand Central, and I spent a lot of time here. I think I spent maybe 30, 40 minutes just admiring everything, the old school ticket booths, and just how big and tall everything is. And, standing in the actual Grand Central Station, it made me kind of go back to all the movies I remember, one of them being Home Alone. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure, but was how Stella got her group back, were they also here? I don't know, but I was just in awe, and I honestly didn't want to leave because it was just so surreal to me, and it's just not a place that I thought I'd ever see in person, so it was a lot of fun, personally. But I enjoyed it. I again, going everywhere in the tunnel and just, admiring and just looking around. So I'm gonna shut up and just see more. There's somebody walking in the background here. I was kind of like, wait a minute, where he came from and why is he only him? But that was just me being nosy. And as you can see, I was just really taken aback about this whole experience. walked through the park and I actually started getting into the neighborhood, my, yeah, I didn't see a single person of color. And again, this was on a Saturday afternoon, kind of afternoonish. Kind of gave me the Cosby vibes. I was like, yo, which one was the Cosby house? But, or living single even. But no, I didn't see a single black person. But it was quiet, it was clean, and it was really nice. So I did enjoy Brooklyn Heights. Then I caught the subway back into Times Square and I went to get something to eat. Now, this is the second item I ate. Before I had that big breakfast at Piccadilly with the tuna melt. And here, I was actually looking for something that I never had in Florida. That's where I'm from. But, something local. And I found Pollo Campero. Now, this Pollo Campero is actually next to Jollibee. And Jollibee was my original place that I wanted to go eat. But Jollibee covered all of their outlets and my phone was dying. So I needed somewhere that I could go, sit, eat, and charge my phone. And I walked into Pollo Campero thinking that this is Jollibee. And then when I went to the cashier and he's like, hey, welcome to Pollo Campero. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So I went back outside and I looked at the sign and I seen Jollibee next door. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm at the wrong place. Went to Jollibee and see that all of the outlets were covered. So I went back to Pollo Campero. And I am not mad at all. This has been like one of the most seasoned chickens that I've had in a while. I even had to take some back to my room. Well, that was the end of my
day tree.